episode 830, Spring into Wellness.
It's time to train for life and love your journey. In this episode of Create Your Now, Your Best Selfie, you'll learn new ways to rediscover, rejuvenate, and renew your mind, body, and spirit. Please welcome your host, certified life coach, personal trainer, and nutritionist, Christiane Wargo.
Staring at a stop sign, watching people drive by.
Happy day. How is your week going? What have you been up to? Is that calendar just jam-packed that you're just kind of like barely breathing? Well, guess what? It is Wellness Wednesday, and we are talking about springing into wellness. You got to know what it's going to take to spring clean you from the inside out. We're going to chat about it today. We're going to break it all down. We've got 10 things to break down. It's going to be awesome. For those of you who are brand new to Create Your Now, welcome to this incredible family. I'm so delighted of your presence. If you already haven't had the opportunity, you want to head on over to createyournow.com, where you can learn more and sign up for the K.I.S.S newsletter, the Keep It Simple Strategy, Everyday Solutions to Live, Love, and Impact. Well, if you want to impact, which you know, you have that opportunity to impact every single time you take a breath. You have the power within you to impact yourself, the people around you, even strangers. But you have to understand that there's a key component here. That key component is you, your wellness. This is a perfect time of year to spring into wellness and look specifically at your lifestyle. That means, yes, we're going to get downright dirty. Okay, not that kind of downright dirty, but we're going to dig a little bit deeper. I'm going to ask you some questions in 10 different areas, and I want you to really think about it. How does it fit in my lifestyle right now? What's working for you? Or maybe the areas that you need to focus on more specifically. This is going to kind of open up that chapter of, maybe I should pay attention here. Think of it as spring cleaning for your mind, body, and spirit. So when we talk about these areas, I want to warn you though, okay? I don't want you to get defensive. It's going to be easy. I may ask this question. You're going to be like, why would she even think about that question? It's all about the facts, okay? This isn't a place for you to get defensive like, wow, what, she pointing her finger at me? No. A lot of this stuff, I'm pointing the finger at me, okay? So don't get defensive. Think more as yes and no and not maybe so. I don't want you on the fence. You need to figure out which side you're on. Also, don't take it personally, meaning that there's no emotional attachment to your answers. Again, we're looking at the facts. If you were to go into your doctor's going to ask you some basic questions regarding your health. He's not going to want, or she's not going to want the runaround as to, well, this is kind of how it is. And they want yes, no. They want the facts. They want it as it stands. So that's what we're looking at here. So don't take it personally. There's no emotional attachment to this. Also, there's no right or wrong. You are simply taking inventory. Now, when we do this, we're going to use the Likert Scale. And the Likert Scale is based on 1 to 5. Okay, 1 being where you either disagree, it's unhealthy, it's just not good, okay? Where 5 then is the best, it's the excellence, okay? You strongly agree, you're the most healthy. So it's 1 to 5. So if you're like, I'm all in, it's the best, and I'll give you examples as we go through this, you're going to be a 5. And if you're like, oh my gosh, I need so much improvement on that, then you're number 1, you're the worst, okay? So your KISS already, we're moving right into it, is spring into wellness, the Keep It Simple strategy. You have got to spring into wellness. So let's look at the 10 different areas that we need to focus on. Are you ready? Take a deep breath because we got to dive deep. And I don't want to keep you here all day because I know you got stuff to do. But this is important. You're taking inventory of you, your lifestyle. Okay, this is your wellness, your personal lifestyle, your overall health and well-being. Number 1. Are you ready for this one? This is a tough one, and I started right at the beginning. Body image. The question is this: how do you see your reflection? How do you see your reflection? So when you look at yourself in the mirror every morning, what are the things that you're saying to yourself? Are they awesome? They're great? Or are you nitpicking every single wrinkle or roll or whatever it is? So for example, maybe you would rate it as a 4. Oh man, yeah, I'm beautiful, but maybe I need a little bit of work. That's all right. Okay, so you're a 4. Or maybe your thinking is, oh my gosh, I have nothing to wear. Nothing fits me right. I just want to climb back into bed. That's a 1. So that just kind of gives you an idea. Now, what I want you to stay away from is the number 3. I really want you to pick 1, 2, or 4, 5. 3 is really as if, gosh, like you truly are neutral. But I want you to stay away from that because I want to push you to really see and to dig deeper and answer these questions honestly. Okay? Only you know the answers, unless if you choose to share them with me. And we will talk about that later. Okay, so number 1, body image. How do you see your reflection? And number 2, emotional health. We're talking about your mental health. Here's your question. How stable are your emotions daily? Now, for some of us, that can be a very touchy subject. But as a reminder, don't get defensive here. Okay, this is not this emotional attachment. There's no right or wrong. So, for example, maybe you're a 5. You're pretty much awesome. You have lots of joy. You're happy. You're optimistic. Yeah, maybe things don't always go right, but as a whole, you feel really good all the time. You're a 5. Put it up there. Woo! Yeah, awesome. Maybe you're just more crabby Abby apples all the time. I call them crabby Abbies. And those crabby Abbies you're a 2. If that's kind of how you act, you're a 2. Let's say, though, you're angry. You're mad at the world. You're mad at your spouse. You're mad at the kid. You're just mad. Nothing is going right ever your way. Then you're a 1. Okay, that's your number 2, emotional health. Let's look at number 3, stress. Stress is going to be a part of your life, whether you want it to be or not. It's just a part of our life. So we have to understand, how are you handling stress? So the question is this: how well do you regulate your stress? Because you're going to have it. I have stress every single day, but it's how I own it. How do I deal with it? Maybe you have an awesome way of dealing with stress. I have a lot of ways that I deal with my stress. And so, you may want to rank yourself a 5. I do awesome in this. So put yourself at a 5. Maybe you struggle. There's stress in your life. You're not like totally, just falling off the wagon, so to speak, but you struggle with it. Then you're a 2. Okay, that kind of gives you an idea as to how to gauge. Stress is an important factor that you have to look at. And these are all 10 factors that you're looking at when it comes to your lifestyle, your wellness. And that's what we're talking about, to spring into wellness. Where are you on the healthy scale? So that was number 3, stress. Number 4 is physical exercise. I know you didn't want to get to this one, did you? You're like, are you peeking on me? I don't want to exercise. Okay, so here's your question. How important is exercise in your week? Which means if you're doing it on a regular basis, pretty much, maybe you're a 4. Now, if you're doing it 6 to 7 days a week, you're on it, you don't miss, then you're a 5. Rank yourself high. If you don't do it at all, and you're like, I just do what I have to do, then you're a 1. Okay? Be honest. That's important. Okay? Number 4 is physical exercise. Number 5 is nutrition. How well do you eat foods that are good for you? I didn't say how often that you eat foods, because that could be anything, right? You could have a candy bar. Oh, I ate. Oh, wait, I had some crackers. Oh, I ate. But are you eating foods that are good for you? How often? How well do you eat these foods? Do you eat well all the time? Pretty much. So you're going to have, a piece of pie or something like that once in a while, but it's not like you're having a piece of pie at every meal, okay? Or you're not eating pie for breakfast. Then that's not a good thing. That's like a 1, okay? You don't care. You're going to eat whatever you want, whenever you want. But if you are on point and you feel good about what you put into your body food-wise, then you're a 5, okay? Number 6, relationships. Are you still there? Yes, I said relationships. This is part of your lifestyle. Remember, God created us to have relationships, to commune with one another. This is very important. So here's your question. How strong is your marriage? Oh, that's a tough one, isn't it? You're like, I've got to rank this? Well, you don't have to tell them what you're ranking it, okay? Now, if you're not married and you're in a relationship, then think of it as how strong is your sweetheart. Your relationship with your sweetheart. Or if you don't have a relationship with anybody, then you can just ask yourself, how strong are your outside influences? So like your best friend or your mom, things like that. Does that make sense? Okay, so relationships. So for example, if you've got a really strong marriage, and it's awesome, it's really good, you're pretty honest with each other, and you tell each other things, you're very supportive, and you really don't get into fights all the time. Yeah, you may have one once every 3 or 4 or 5 weeks, but it's not an ongoing thing, then you're a 5. That's awesome, okay? But if you're struggling, maybe you've had some ups and downs, then you're a 2. And if you're totally falling apart, maybe you're separated right now, yeah, you're a 1. So answer this honestly. How strong is your marriage? Number 7, physical health. We're talking about your actual body in its physical health. So if you were to go to the doctor and your doctor was to listen to your heartbeat, your doctor would take blood samples and say, okay, this is your cholesterol, this is your, triglycerides, maybe you have a thyroid, test done, etc. That's what we're talking about here with physical health. There's a difference between physical exercise and physical health. Answer this question. How healthy is your body? Think about it. When was the last time you went to the doctor? If it's been 3 to 5 years, then you don't have an answer for this, and you're going to have to rate yourself more like a 2 or 1. However, now I say that. Some of you are like, oh, but I'm real healthy. I don't need to go to the doctor. I understand that, but I also want you to know and understand the importance of going in and at least having a 1-year exam, a wellness exam, making sure that your labs are good, your blood work looks good, because some things creep up on us and we don't know that it's there. So I would encourage you, if it's been longer than 3 years that you have had a physical, I would encourage you to go visit your medical provider, okay? You know what's best for your body, but you have to be able to answer this honestly. How healthy is your body? So like, for example, if you've got aches and pains all the time, you're hurting, you've got lower back pain, you're on high medication, yeah, you're a 1. No question about it. But if you're in good condition, you're feeling awesome, you're healthy, you're not only are you eating well, but physically you've got a strong heart, the doctor doesn't have any red flags, your blood work looks great, then you're a 5. So answer that one very carefully and honestly. Again, you can't look at this stuff if you're not going to be honest, because you could beat around the bush and go, oh, well, maybe I'm really a 4. I could be a 3, but when you're really a 1. Okay? You want to see where you are with your wellness as a whole, and you got to be honest about it. Okay, so that's number 7, physical health. Number 8, hang in there. We've got 2 more after this one. This one's probably going to surprise you. Number 8 is safety and security. Ooh. Yeah, that actually plays a really big part in your wellness, your lifestyle. So how safe and secure is your environment around you? For example, if you're in an abusive situation, whether it be at work, in your personal life, yeah, it's a 1. If you have any violence that's happening, if you're arguing all the time, maybe you're living in an apartment complex and there's violence that's happening around you. It may not be in your own area. Yeah, that's going to be on the lower end of the scale. That's safety and security. But if you're, if it's kind of adequate, yeah, you feel good, you feel safe, you feel like you can walk outside, you can go to work, you can play with your kids, all as well, then yeah, maybe that's a 4. And if all is awesome and you're living in the best place ever, and then you're a 5. But it's important to understand the safety and security. It does play a role. And you probably would know how it connects to other things too, right? Stress and emotional health also. So very key components here, ones that we don't think about, but this is all a part of your lifestyle, your wellness. Number 9, financial health. Oh man, we're talking about dollar signs again. I know it's all about the money. It's not all about the money, but we need money in order to have the things that we need and want, correct? Yes, we do. So answer this question. How are you meeting your wants and needs? So maybe you're a 5 if you can, afford what you want and what you need. It's not a big deal. It's great. Or maybe you're a 1 because you're in lots of debt and you can't get out of it. You're living more than paycheck to paycheck. You're borrowing money. You're switching things around. Yeah, that's a 1. Now, if you're, living paycheck to paycheck, you could still be a 4, but, you're still not meeting everything. And you may be like, well, that's your scale. You got to figure out where that is, how that matters to you. But you've got to answer that question. And that's one that we just don't want to answer because it's like, ooh, I don't know. I don't want to go there. So how are you meeting your wants and needs? And finally, number 10, spirituality. Oh, yes. Answer this question. How is your relationship with God? Do you pray often? Are you talking to him all the time? That doesn't mean you have to be in a Bible study group. That doesn't mean you're going to church necessarily every single week, but you're communing with him. You are speaking with him. You have a relationship with him. Now, that's only for you to judge. If you're doing that all the time, you're a 5. If you do it kind of once in a while, but more than just on, Christmas and Easter, then you're more of a 4. If you're just going Christmas and Easter when it's convenient, yeah, more of a 2. And then, maybe you're a 1 only when you really need him. You're in dire straits. You're like, oh, I just can't do this by myself anymore. You're desperate. That's a 1. Now, if you do not believe in God, that's okay. Answer the question in regards to how's your relationship with the higher power or whatever you do believe in. Okay? For me personally, it's my relationship with God. That spirituality part plays a huge role in our wellness. Only you can answer these 10 questions. Now I want you to look at all these factors. And when you look at them, which ones did you score 3 or less? I want you to mark those. And then I want you to look at the ones that you scored a 1 or a 2. You're going to have them. And if you don't, and I'm being real honest with you, then you've lied. I know you're like, what? I know I just said it, didn't I? Because I look at these and I'm like, oh man, I could do this better. I could do that. Oh my gosh, I could do this. But you've got to grade yourself appropriately. Don't give yourself that extra leeway. Don't give yourself like you're grading on a curve here. No, you're not. This is reality check. These are checks and balances here. You're going to have some 2s and 1s. You just are. There's nowhere on this earth, because that would be perfection, right? Yeah, you're not at perfection. None of us are at perfection. So if you don't have any 2s and 1s, and maybe you're more at 3s and 4s, then go back to those 3s and 4s and really ask yourself, is that really where it sets? Or how much do I need to improve on? Or where am I sitting at this particular area? It's important that you be honest with where you are in your lifestyle. By answering these 10 questions, it will help break it down for you. Now, it is challenging to look at your own lifestyle. It really is. And that's why clients come to me, because they need somebody else who can look and see their whole lifestyle differently than what you see it, because you're in it. And that doesn't mean that they nitpick. I don't nitpick on my client's lifestyle. That's not my job to do that. My job is to help them see what is and what isn't, areas of improvement, how they can improve. That doesn't mean that the way I do it is the way to do it, but I help them and guide them as to, well, this might work for you. And if you're like, gosh, I've never worked with a coach, guess what? You have that availability. Click on the link, Take Aim. It's your opportunity for a free coaching call with me. Take Aim, action ignites motivation, but it takes you to take aim. Click on that link. There will be a form that pops up. Just fill that form out. That information will come directly to me. It will begin our conversation. We'll schedule up a call. It's totally free. Then you can see what it's like to actually kind of work with the coach. I promise you, I don't bite. And yes, I sound exactly like I do now. People are so funny, and they get on the phone with me and they're like, oh my gosh, you sound the same. I'm like, it's because it's me. So I would love to chat with you. So do click on the link, Take Aim. It is tough to spring into wellness sometimes by yourself. It really is. You can do it. And this is a starting point of saying, okay, these are kind of the areas that I need to work on. Now, you're probably like, I've got like 4 or 5 areas, Christiane. I know. And you can't do them all at once. And I'm begging you not to do them all at once. Some of them feed off of each other. And so you can begin to compile them together. Now, I can't go through each and every one and tell you all of the specifics. That's where having a coach is very important. But what I can tell you is to choose one at a time. Look at one of them and say, okay, my focus is going to be on this. When I accomplish this and I become and I make it a habit, I make the change that I want, I don't have to think about it anymore. Because remember, when you make changes, you are consciously having to what? Produce a result, which means what? Energy is being poured out, which sometimes at the end of the day, you're like totally exhausted when you're trying to make some transformation in your life. When you're trying to do impact on your own life, I'm pushing ahead, creating transformation. Oh yeah, you're going to feel it emotionally. You're going to feel it from the energy level. You may not have as much by the end of the day. You may feel like you need more sleep. Yeah, you are, because you're trying to make changes in your life. So pick one. Once when you've established those changes and you can do it without thinking about it, it has become literally a natural habit and a good one. Then you can move on to the next. Now, sometimes you can jump in a little bit early and add in another one depending upon what they are, or sometimes, again, they feed off of each other. I can't tell you all the possibilities because you understand to put all those together, we're talking about millions of possibilities here. But I can, if you click on the link, take aim. Choose one and focus on that one area. That's all you need to do. One step leads to miles of greatness. What one step do you need to be taking today to spring into wellness? That's for you to answer. That's your question. That's your final thought for today. Go out, be present, be incredible, be you. I love you so very much. I cannot wait to see you on the other side. Blessings, love, and lots of hugs. We'll talk to you real soon. Bye-bye.
Feeling inspired, ready to train for life and love your journey? Visit createyournow.com for more incredible resources to help you along the way. We'll see you next time on Create Your Now, Your Best Selfie. And remember, always be sure you consult your physician before beginning any health and fitness plan.